What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. It's a foggy morning, day after Christmas. Appreciate you tuning in. We're gonna search some areas this morning. Not gonna be bait specific, just my favorite wintertime baits: jig, stick bait, maybe a Ned rig. But we're gonna be targeting where deep water, shallow water transition, where they come together. That's going to be my spots for today. I picked out 5 or 6 spots on Navionics last night, and first clip I'm going to show you was from a couple days ago when I started this video. The wind was horrible, so I had to find some spots out of the wind. Let's go check that out, and we'll get back into what we're doing today. It all goes kind of together, so you guys stick around. Maybe it's gonna get good. Alright, boys, I got a hold of me one. Don't jump, don't jump, don't jump. No. Ah, yes. It has been a grind today. Lake Katoma comes through. Oh, calm down. I'm gonna put you back. Give me my jig. Not my jig. Let me show you. Can't show you that angle. That fish is cold. That stick bait, that's a cream, I think it's a 5 or 6 inch stick bait on a jig head. Got a 1/2 ounce jig head. Got a hold of me a Lake Katoma wintertime largemouth. Took me to get a transition bank going from deep to shallow, like a little indention in a steeper bank. That's about probably about a little over 4 pounds, maybe. Get it back to water. There she goes. Been a long stretch. That's second bite. My first bite came in the same area. I fished all around, almost made it to the bridge from the dam, headed down the lake. Second bite, I missed the first one. I thought I had a stick, and I went to check it and realized real quick, man, that was a fish. Same area. I don't know if it's the same fish or if it's holding a few fish, but the stick bait in the winter on a jig head is a pretty good combination. I usually throw a regular 3/8 jig in the winter, but I wanted to do some Ned rig fishing, but the wind's been, I'm in a calm spot right now. The wind has been horrible today. Anywhere from 10 to 15 miles an hour all day. And I knew that coming into today, so you just have to prepare to be in the wind or get out of the wind. So, I'm gonna check my line, and I'm gonna daub around in this hole just a little bit more right up in here, and because I've had 1 bite and 1 fish now, or 2 bites and 1 fish. And then I'm gonna move on down to the next one before I begin my journey back. It's about 2:30 in the afternoon now, and I don't want to get too far away and have to paddle all the way back, or run my little trolling motor battery down and have to paddle all the way back. When you're dealing with a bunch of wind, you can lose that trolling motor and be way down the lake before you know it. Anyway, Fingers crossed. Let's go get us another one. Alright guys, right up ahead here is one of my favorite types of structure or cover to fish in the winter when it's cold. We're on a fairly steep bank. I'm probably 10 feet off the bank. I'm sitting in almost 12 feet of water. And this old tree comes down in the water, and I know it runs on out pretty good ways down. Now how I will fish these is I'm gonna start out past it, let it go down, because I don't know exactly how far down that thing goes, but I want to try to work the branches that are out the furthest out in the lake first, or feel around and see if I find them. Yep, there's branches that go way out, and then I want to work closer in toward the trunk of the tree. Oh me, I might got hung in it. But not, you don't always get a fish off of these, but these are some prime targets, even in the winter. They don't have to be 40 feet deep to hold a fish. Let me get the wind's trying to kick me out of position. Now, I don't know that there'll be a fish on it, but this is how I approach them. I work out off of I'm imagining where it goes down, let my bait go. Now I think it probably went down through the branches, but I want to let it get down till it stops and then just wiggle it. Let it go back down. If you can feel it come up and hit that tree, yeah, I'm all in it. I hope I don't lose my jig. But that's how you get the bites. You've got to put it, if you don't put it in the cover, you're missing out on so much. You just got to take a chance in putting it in the tough places. And I lose a lot of jigs doing that. All right, wind's got me again. I'm gonna back out and go over and hit it from another angle. Try not to make much noise. As you can see out, the weather finally broke, the fog lifted. It stayed cloudy most of the morning, and it has turned into what, if you didn't know any better, you would swear it was the 1st of April out here. It's got to be 70 plus degrees. Water temp, I have found water today 58 degrees. That's unheard of in Alabama, or in northern Alabama anyway, day after Christmas. All right, now I may have got a little closer than I wanted, but I wanted to make sure you could see. And then I want to get it right back up in there where I think that thing's coming down. I'm just letting it go, and I know I'm dropping it in limbs, but you have to get in the cover if you want to catch the fish. You've got to put it in the tough places. And if I lose a jig, yep, I feel it. I'm in the tree. Don't know if I'm gonna get a fish out of it, but I did want to go over how I work them. And as I go down the bank and I've come across these, I always stop. It's like a sign that says, hey, cast here. And you go at it from multiple angles. You won't always catch a fish, but sometimes that one last throw from a different angle, depending on how those fish are set up, will get you that bite. And while that drops down, I've got to adjust the fuzz. Yep, it went straight down. I know I'm in the limbs, so far I've been lucky. I hadn't had to break it off, but I feel it right now. It's in the limbs. May not be a fish holding on that one today, or if there is, he may not be interested, but it's just a prime target. Man, those limbs, they come way on out. Just don't seem to be ready to, don't seem to be a fish there waiting on me today. And actually we've got a pretty good sized tree coming down here, and we got some smaller brush back out this way. I don't know how far it comes out, but I came from, I mean, I'm literally 25 feet off the bank, and it dropped, it's double the distance or depth in just this far. So I am where I wanted to be, a round structure. I want deep water close to shallow water. These steep banks give you all of that. They give you cover, they give you quick access to deep water. Now, I didn't feel anything on the bottom there. I don't think that particular cover comes out that far. We're gonna put it up closer. That'll be the one I get hung on. Yeah, I got in it that time. It doesn't come out as far as the one on the left, but it does come on out in the water. And a lot of my big fish that I post will come off of setups just like this all around the lake. You just got to stop and fish each one, and you know, maybe 2 out of 10 is going to hold a 5 or 6 pounder sometimes. Now there's some brush down there. I don't know if that's the same piece I'm looking at. I know this one over here runs way down, but there is some brush out from this second piece here. You can see I've got my rod on, it's bending. I'm in the limbs. Let it fall back. Oh, I think oh, it came off. Yep. I'm gonna give it one more shot, and I'm gonna move on. Hit a few spots. I've ran way down the lake today, covering some water while it was cloudy and not good for videoing, and I'm gonna fish my way back. Man, there's a lot of brush right here. I just almost expect a bite, but you don't always get one when you expect one. All right, nothing on that one. But that's a typical setup that I'll fish every time I come to one when I'm going down the lake. Even if I think I'm gonna do something else that day, these steep banks with a big tree that comes down and runs way down in the water, it's just something that I can't resist. I've got to stop, because more often than not, they're gonna have a fish. It may not always be a big fish, but they're gonna have something. Anyway, I'm gonna head down the lake, working my way back, and I'll see you in a few. Alright guys, on the way to one of my spots I was headed to, I decided to pull off in between two main points. It's like a little indention in the bank. It's not really a point, it's not much of a pocket, but it's an irregularity in the bank that is shallow, but it's really close to deep water. Picked up me a little spot on the Ned rig. And that's my whole key to, I believe, all my bass in the past few weeks is irregularities in the bank. Anytime you've got like a straight bank and you have a little indentation, you just got to realize or imagine that the contour is doing that below the surface as well as what we're seeing on the bank. And that you know, irregularities in the winter, especially close to deep water where you've got that transition. That's what my whole goal today was to look at these places that the bank's a little different, where it's going from flat to deep, or maybe even clay to pea gravel. These irregularities, for whatever reason, they hold fish, and it's even more so in the winter than any other time. But I'm gonna make a couple more casts here just to see if I get another bite. If not, I'm gonna continue on to where I was actually going, which has got some more pronounced cover. I think I ran my back camera down, or nearly all the way down, so it's kind of shot. I've used it mostly today, just leaving it running a lot while I was filming. But I'm gonna make a few more casts here, and if I don't get another bite pretty quick, I'm just gonna leave it and move on. But it's just an example of any little irregularity. One tree on a steep bank will hold the fish. One drain coming in off of one bank where there's no other ones. A run in after a warm rain. Anything that's different. That warm water coming in means more oxygen, means more, possibly warmer water. Like I said before, I think I said it before, I've actually seen 58-degree water today. It's kind of crazy for December, or almost into January. But anyway, let me check this line, make sure it's not frayed up, and I'm gonna get back in position and try to get me another bite. I'll let you know if I do. Alright guys, I am hitting my last spot for the day. I didn't catch any more bass on the Ned rig. I moved locations, and I did put it in this spot where I'm at, which I'm off of a main lake point. It's really rocky, and it runs out shallow for a long way. I'm sitting in 25 feet of water. And the reason I put my Ned rig back down is I caught 2 rock bass. That's not exactly what I wanted, but if anybody is after rock bass or bluegill or shellcracker or anything like that, that fish came from 20 feet of water on the bottom. He hit my little Ned rig, or both of them hit the Ned rig, so I put it down and put on a bigger worm. And I'm gonna work this. The main channel runs right up next to this point. It runs way, way, way out in the water. It's another example of what I like to fish during the winter. I want to get shallow water butted up next to deep water, or your main channel, or a creek bed or something. Sitting in 25, 26 feet of water, throwing back up. I'm gonna say probably where it's landing, it's probably gonna be in about 15 feet of water. That's kind of where my bites have been the past few days, and I know this area's got stumps as well. It's got a point runs out right beside it's a big stump flat. On the other side is a channel, so there's a lot of irregularities right there. Don't know that I'll get a bite. The sun is quickly going down. I've run all over the lake today looking, exploring, and checking on different spots, and I did more riding around looking than I actually did fishing. But these areas that are different. Let me get readjusted. The transitions where it doesn't necessarily have to be rocks. It doesn't have to be any certain bottom composition, but where they change. My favorite, of course, is going to be deep versus shallow, but it doesn't have to be that way. Any difference, and I don't know why it holds fish, but like I think I mentioned it before, you can have a clay bank running into a pea gravel section, and they'll often hold right there close where the two meet. Sometimes that's due to a run-in has washed all the pea gravel out, or just the way Mother Nature made it. But these differences in the bottom often hold fish, and that's especially in the wintertime. That's can't put that out there enough. The wintertime is the toughest for most people. I know it's toughest for me. I've got friends that love it, and they load the boat all winter. To me, it's always been harder to put that puzzle together, and but I do tend to catch fish during the winter. Man, I thought I had a monster right there. I think I got a rock. But the fish I generally catch in the winter are normally big, and it's because I fish these high percentage areas that and just got to keep moving and going, and you hit enough of these good areas and you're going to find a good fish. Didn't have a lot of fish on the video today. Apologize for that. It doesn't always work out that way, but I spent a lot of my day, the past couple of days I've been out looking for new places, finding out what the bottom looked like. I spent some time on Navionics looking for some of these places, and can't wait to really explore them some more. I'm going to do that over the next few weeks, and hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. Help me grow this channel so I can go more and better places, and I'll see you guys next time. You just got to stay safe on the water.